We're at Brett Carver's stop now to talk a little bit about wheat breeding. And Brett, your newest variety that the wheat breeding team has released is Stardust. Tell us a little bit about it.
Stardust is a little bit different. It's out of the market class hard white. So instead of the usual hard red winter wheat, Stardust is hard white, which means it might be used in other applications than what would be used for hard red winter, particularly whole grain type products, whole wheat.
And this grows well in this part of the state.
That's right. It can work in the Panhandle, but it can also work downstate where it might be closer to the point of which it would be milled.
In terms of the hard white variety, what do you see kind of as the next step after Stardust?
Well, we always have new experimental lines in the lineup, in the pipeline, and so we do actually have one on display here for the field day.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Let's do that. Tell us about this one.
Okay, this is an experimental line. It's not under any kind of release proposal just yet, but it's in that stage of selection where we think it might have commercial potential. So we're trying to purify the line. Right now it is mixed with red and white kernels. We want to pull out both the red and the white kernels and keep them separate so we have two lines that come from this one line. And the reason we want to do that is it has such high potential for yield production. Again, just like Stardust, right here in the main body of the state. Just like Stardust, also it has one of the same parents as Stardust, OK Rising. A little bit different parentage on the other side. But I'm really excited about this experimental line. You can see across the canopy how full it is, and the heads are, it's going to provide a very nice yield. In fact, I can tell you, since 2012, averaged across the last, 4 years of yield data, this has been the highest yielding experimental line in the program, again, across those 4 years. So we need to take a very close look, see what it might do for our Oklahoma wheat producers.
And now we have some of the Clearfield and Double Stop relatives gathered up, right?
Yes, we do, and we have two on display today. And the familiarity of Double Stop should be pretty high to our wheat producers, but just as a reminder, Double Stop is one of the Clearfield varieties and 2-gene Clearfield varieties that enables wheat producers to control some difficult weeds, particularly feral rye, but another one being jointed goat grass. Double Stop was released a few years ago. We accelerated the breeding on Double Stop and released it as fast as we could do it and still have a stable line with the right genetics for the Clearfield system. But in so doing, the line was a little bit less uniform than the typical variety that we released. So we wanted to improve upon that uniformity, but also at the same time maybe improve upon the yield potential. And that led to this selection from Double Stop, the 09915C. -1, and I can say that without a doubt this is a higher yielding line than its parent Double Stop, to the tune of about 7 bushels per acre statewide, at least in 2015. Better stripe rust resistance, same just about everything else, but better stripe rust resistance and powdery mildew. Okay. Really glad to see this one come along, but we may not limit our choice to that particular experimental line. We have another one that didn't come directly out of Double Stop, but through an independent set of crosses, very similar to Double Stop. Double Stop has 3 parents. This particular line features 2 of those 3 parents. And you can see a little bit of the difference. The first one that stands out would be the earlier maturity. Double Stop is on the later end of our varieties in terms of when it finishes and when it flowers in the spring. This is several days earlier than Double Stop, but I think it's as high yielding, if not higher yielding, than Double Stop. Right now, the battle is between these 2 experimentals. Which one wins, we'll let you know this summer.
It's a great matchup then.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Brett Carver, great information on the future of the work of the Wheat Improvement Team. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.